What's up, guys? Welcome to PBnJ. I'm here, Brian, and we are introducing our new Squared Circle segment where we're going to cover all things wrestling. Today, we want to talk about something that's been widely discussed over the internet since WrestleMania, and that is why isn't Roman Reigns getting over? We all thought he was going to win at Mania and beat Brock to become the Universal Champion, and Brock was expected to walk away and go back to UFC, and obviously that didn't happen. Brock won, retained the title, and we were all shocked. So it's been an ongoing discussion, and I don't think we've talked about it yet, so we're going to get into it. So, Brian, why do you think Roman Reigns can't get over with today's fans?
Well, so I guess it's easy for me to speak about it because I'm one of those who don't like him to be put over. And it's not because I hate him as a wrestler or anything. I think he puts on great matches and all that. It's just that it reminds me, and I guess all the fans who don't like him, you know, the same thing, like he's like another John Cena guy that they're shoving down our throats. And it all leads to it's the way they did it, really. You know, when he was with the Shield, they would be the ones coming out and just destroying everyone, and that was really cool, right? He didn't have that many lines. He just came out and did his thing, and then they started like giving him lines, and he just sounded horrible on the mic. He wasn't ready, but they kept writing these long segments for him. So that's one thing. Like the more he talked, like the more you were interested in him as a performer. And then the other thing was he injured himself. I guess it was a leg injury, or I forget what it was, and he disappeared for like 6 months. And then he comes back and he gets a title shot right away. So, like those are signs like, okay, so the fans, the hardcore fans are seeing this as like, okay, they're going to just push him no matter what happens. Like, it's not going to be a natural, gradual push, and they're just going to just force feed him to us. You know, I think that's the reason why, like, a lot of fans are against him. And that's the same feeling I get too. So what do you think? Is there anything you think there's more to that?
No, I mean that was a big part of it. He jumped the line, right? You're supposed to work your way up through the mid card. Normally, you do like an Intercontinental Championship run or a U.S. title run first, and then from there you move up as the fans embrace you. So yeah, definitely cutting the line really upset a lot of fans. They're like, wait a minute, this isn't how we do things around here. I think what's really hurting him is one, yeah, he wasn't ready. His mic skills were really bad, and they're maybe a little better now. And I think a part of that is because they're not giving him those long segments to, they were giving him like these really long promos he would give. They kind of shortened them up. I don't know if you noticed that.
I did notice, but yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, he's not. It's not as painful to watch. You're not sitting there for 10, 15 minutes. It's just a little shorter. And yeah, like you said, he's a good wrestler. His matches are good. And then if you pair him with somebody who's really good, they can put on something. If he wrestled like AJ Styles or something. But I think at this point, what's really hurting him is that I didn't realize this, but they've been pushing him for 4 years now.
Yeah,
that's a long time. Now the fans are basically saying, you try to shove him down our throats, it didn't work. We're rejecting this guy. And instead of him starting over and like, or maybe not a repackage, but going down to the mid card and working his way back up or something, they keep trying to hammer it home. So the fans nowadays are just like, no, like we refuse to let this happen. And at this point, there's no way for him to get over. I think at this point, it's too late. The fans rejected him. They want him to work his way up. And what's making it, another thing that's making it worse is that WWE, rather than listening to the fans, they're trying to work their way around it, right? Right now they have him feuding with Jinder Mahal, and we were talking about this off air, right? Their plan was, okay, they always boo Roman. Let's put him against someone that's even worse, and that's Jinder, and that way they'll have to boo Jinder, not Roman, right? And the fans were like, no, we're gonna boo both of them, and they were cheers for Jinder, right, last week.
When he was beating up Roman,
there were cheers. So the WWE is trying these things to get around him. At WrestleMania, he took all those F5s, right, and they're trying to show him how strong he is. And look, he never gives up. He's gonna keep coming back. I remember they tried doing that with Taz about 10 years ago, 15 years ago. He was a little guy. He always got beat up, and it didn't. And the fans were like, no, it's not happening. So they tried that with him against Lesnar. They tried to put him over by having him beat The Undertaker, and that backfired
Yeah, I
Huge.
think that. So that was another thing. Yeah, that was a good point. Like, for him to take out a fan favorite and then calling himself the new big dog or whatever,
Yeah.
that just pissed people off even more, right?
And it's not just a fan favorite; it's the fan favorite.
Right.
Undertaker is he's over. There's no he can't not be over. And he beats him, and they were trying to think, okay, if Undertaker puts him over, he lays down for him, and the Undertaker kind of acknowledges that he's the new guy. Maybe the fans will embrace him. No, the fans booed him. Like, remember the next night on Raw, he came out to talk, and they just booed him for 10 minutes. And then before that, even that, when he won at the Royal Rumble, and they had The Rock come out and endorse him. And remember, The Rock lifted his arm in the ring, was pointing at him, and the fans were just booing the crap out of him. So I think the reason why he can't get over now is because it's not possible to get over. The fans refuse. They're going to force WWE to make him, to pull off this guy and back off. And it's kind of weird, too, because Braun Strowman is way over. And that was another side effect of Roman Reigns. I remember they had that feud, and Braun Strowman beat Roman Reigns mercilessly, and he flipped him in the ambulance. They flipped the ambulance over, and they just beat him to a pulp, and they thought, oh, the fans will rally behind Roman. It didn't work. It actually put Braun way over. Everyone they love Braun. Why I think Roman Reigns can't get over is because of Vince McMahon in the front office. They pushed him as hard as they could. The fans rejected it and rejected him, and rather than listening to the fans, they started fighting. So now it's almost like a battle against McMahon. Now it's almost a battle against the establishment. The fans are like, no, we're not going to do this. So they kind of shot themselves in the foot with Roman. And yeah, I kind of feel bad because he's not bad. He's not terrible. He's just out there doing his thing, But unfortunately, we were talking about this earlier. I think it was whatculture.com called him the new Luger. And someone else that Vince McMahon was pushing, and it didn't work. The fans rejected him, and they had to ditch the idea. So it's coming back around again. So yeah, that's what I think. I think the reason why he can't get over is that it's too late. It's too late for him to get over. Really not his fault. And I don't know if there's anything that they can do to fix him. What do you think, Brian? Is there anything they can do to get him around? Maybe bring back the Shield again, or is even that too late?
Yeah, so they did reunite the Shield for a little bit, and that helped a little bit, right? Because you can't boo the Shield because they're so popular, and Seth Rollins is like pretty over right now. And you called it, last week you were saying like, well, they can just pair Roman with like Seth Rollins and they can't boo that, right? So on Raw they did do that, and Seth they end up winning the match. So they're trying to like trick you, like, hey, you're supposed to boo them, but you can't because you really like Seth Rollins too, But it didn't matter. Like, I don't think that helps. So I think he just needs to go away for a little bit, or at least push him down to the mid card, just have him feud with someone. I guess they're trying to do that now with that feud with Jinder Mahal. So. Just keep him down there for a little bit. Maybe let him win a IC title or whatever, like the smaller belt, and have him go on a solid run there, and then have him come up again maybe next year for like the Royal Rumble or Survivor Series or something else. Just build him up again. What we don't want to see is just having him week after week open and end the show, and main eventing the main event, and the fans are showing their displeasure, right? Like in the last pay-per-view, people were leaving early during the main event, and that was with Samoa Joe. But that match was really boring, though.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was kind of hoping a little bit more from them because Joe was good, but it just didn't seem like they could get into it. When you got the crowd booing you and leaving, you're not going to give your 100%. You can't do it.
Right.
So what do you think about what if they turned him heel?
If you do that, it's hard to come back, right? Like, it's hard to make him face again later on. So if your purpose is to make him the franchise 10-year guy, I think if you turn him heel, it's going to take a much longer time to bring him back to be the face of the company. I mean, they must have considered that option, but I don't know if they would want to do that.
Right. That hurts merchandise sales, and
right.
I read somewhere a long time ago it's a huge drop. Like, heels sell like 60% less merchandise or something like that. It's something really big. It's a huge number. And if you can't have a guy like, if he's going to be your Cena or Hogan, you can't have him do that. So yeah, that was our opinions on why Roman can't get over. Brian brought up the point that he wasn't ready, and they skipped the line. They didn't do the progress, and I think because of that, it's too late. That's why I think he can't get over, is because it's too late for him to get over. Fans rejected him, and that's it. That's that. They're gonna have to figure something out. So I don't see him getting over anytime soon. Maybe WWE is finally gonna slow down on that and have someone else challenge Brock. There were rumors of Seth Rollins being Brock's next feud, which I'm all for it. Brock, as Brian said, Seth Rollins is the most over guy right now on Raw, probably, and I think the fans would really get behind that. So not his fault, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with Roman Reigns, and I think it's going to be this year. I think it's either happens this year or that's it. What do you think?
When you mean this year to?
Yeah, either he gets over this year or that's it. It doesn't happen at all.
I don't think it's going to happen at all. So unless they shelf him for a little bit or just keep him down a little bit. Still, I thought after that the last pay-per-view they would know that they need to take a step back, but they're still pretty aggressive about it. And now the new angle is that it's the management that's against him.
Oh
that's
yeah,
holding it back.
I forgot about that. Yeah, they're trying to pull a Stone Cold.
Right, but he's still main eventing everything and all that. But he's somehow getting screwed. We're not. Nobody's buying that.
Well, all right, guys, that was our very first Squared Circle segment for PB&J. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll have some more coming very, very soon. So we'll see you next time.